Hello. Yeah, I haven't vlogged in a while. About that, I've been in and out of the hospital, and that sucks. So, yeah, if you can track down epilepsy and shoot it, that would be appreciated. Now, purple's my favorite color, so I love it in general, but there's a reason I'm wearing purple today, and it's the same reason that I'm moving location out of my bedroom, also known as the room that I live in, to this place, which has the purple curtain. It's Purple Day! Oh God. Did you see my boobs? And there's also a reason that I don't normally wear button-down shirts, and that reason would be that my boobs are too big for them. I feel like I've just exposed myself. Purple Day, children. Look up here at my face, not down at where my boobs just fell out of my button-up shirt. Purple Day is Epilepsy Awareness Day. Epilepsy is something that's very personal to me, mostly because I suffer from it, and I'm a selfish you-know-what. No, actually just because it's something that's very important, and I know a lot of people who suffer from it besides me. I was diagnosed with epilepsy when I was 5 years old, which you may or may not know. I don't know if I've told people that on this vlog. But I was diagnosed with absence seizures when I was 5 years old. My teachers thought that I was daydreaming a lot, and they wondered, what is a smart girl like this doing daydreaming so much? Is she bored? So they thought I had, like some kind of disorder. So they sent me to my parents, who sent me to a doctor, who sent me to specialists, who did tests and determined that I had seizures. And they put me on medicine, which made me fat, which, I'm still dealing with clearly. And my seizures went away when I was about 10. And then when I was 12, I was in a car accident. We were stopped for a car accident that was in front of us. And this lady apparently was blinded by the sunlight and rear-ended us, and my seizures came back. They were still the small absent seizures. Now, things people don't get about epilepsy is that there are several types of seizures, and not all of them are the huge, on-the-ground, shaking kind. And yeah, that's the kind I have now, so I kind of sound like a hypocrite saying this. But when I was first diagnosed, I only had absent seizures. Absent seizures look kind of like this. Yeah, kind of creepy. Looks like daydreaming. I literally would lick or bite my lips, and my eyes would go up to the sky, and I'd just be kind of out of it for 10, 20 seconds, and I'd come back, and I wouldn't know what was going on, and I'd see a bright light during the process. So I'd miss out on that, and I was having a lot of them. A lot of them. So, yeah. Anyway, back to the story. They came back after the car accident. And I also had bulging discs after the car accident. But this is a video about epilepsy. So, after that, it took another 2 years for the seizures to go away. And I was back on medication. And when I started high school, I was seizure-free again. And I was excited because I thought, get my driver's license, be like everyone else. And this November 15th, 2011, we were hit by a drunk driver. I don't remember it. Want to know why? Because my head went like this a few times against the headrest of the passenger seat. So I don't remember the car accident, actually. Or the, few minutes before or afterwards. I just remember waking up in the ambulance. And I have a concussion that's still healing from it. Yeah, it's March and my concussion is still healing. You want to say something about it? I still have memory loss, buddy. So I'm in cognitive and speech therapy, and I'm in physical therapy for this. I have vertigo too, but the vertigo's gone. We're working on balance right now. And my absent seizures came back, but I also got what are called tonic-clonic seizures. Those are the ones that you probably think of when you hear epilepsy. And they're the ones where you first tense up and lose consciousness, and you may fall to the ground if you're sitting or standing. And I'm sorry I keep rubbing my nose. I have a hair that's like a hair from my head that's right here. I'm trying to get it out of my face. I can't see it. This is embarrassing. I was trying to make this all professional. Okay, this is not going to be an epilepsy awareness video that's widespread on the internet, is it? No, it's not. Okay, so those are the ones you associate with epilepsy generally. You lose consciousness, your muscles go all tense for a second, stiff. You fall to the ground if you're sitting or standing. Then you start shaking. You may drool a little. You may puke. You may gasp for air. It's not as common, but it may happen. And then it's over. People commonly will wet themselves. Sometimes, the other kind of waste that comes out will come out. I personally, it's epilepsy day. I'm going to tell you what happens with me. I will feel an aura, which is a sense that you get before a seizure. I feel these for my tonic-clonics, not so much for my absent seizures. I used to feel them for my absent seizures when I was younger, but I don't anymore, which is frustrating, really frustrating for me. But I'm just thankful I feel them for the tonic-clonic. What happens is everything gets bright and loud. I get a metallic taste in my mouth, and my stomach just kind of feels upset, like something's going to happen. So I generally sit down, grab the phone. The phone goes everywhere with me, and not because I'm a teenage girl, but because I like to be able to call my mom or dad to be present in case something happens. Like, if I start choking on my own vomit, I'd like for someone to be able to stop me before I die, because it's not a joke. You can die during a seizure. So I like to be able to have someone present with me, even though seizures are not usually an emergency. Seizures are not usually emergency, contrary to popular belief. They're not usually an emergency, but they can be, and that's why I like to have someone present. Not like an ambulance, but just a parent. So I sit down. This is where I lose memory. I don't know what happens, but I have recorded them, so I can describe to you what happens because I've seen it. Which is weird because I've seen my body doing things that I don't remember it doing. My body tenses up, and my eyes roll back. My arms and legs shake. The longest they've gone is 3 minutes and 10 seconds. The shortest is 20 seconds. Afterwards, all of my muscles relax. Usually, the first thing I remember is waking up a long time afterwards. Tonic-clonic seizures, generally afterwards, people will fall asleep. You don't have to worry about waking them up. As long as they're breathing regularly, let them sleep because they're exhausted and most likely their head is pounding, and there's no reason that you have to wake them up as long as their vitals are fine. Just leave them alone. I'll wake up and realize that I'm wet. And it's embarrassing as an 18-year-old to realize that you've just basically peed yourself, but that happens because you lose complete control of your bladder. And also sometimes your stools. That's never happened to me, thank God, but it does happen to some people. And it's not like they can control it, so it's not a funny or laughing matter at all. Sometimes people will vomit in the process, and that's why it's important, if you want to know some first aid for epilepsy, if someone's having a tonic-clonic seizure, do not put your finger in your mouth because you can actually choke them. It's impossible for them to choke on their tongue. So just do not touch their mouth. Do not try to stop their arms or legs from shaking because you will hurt them or yourself. You will not help them. I repeat, do not touch their arms or legs to stop them from shaking. The only reason to touch them, is to roll them onto their left side so that if they vomit, they don't choke on their own vomit and asphyxiate. That's the only reason you touch them. Roll them over on their left side as soon as as soon as they fall down, ideally. So like when they go stiff before they start shaking, roll them over on their left side so that if they vomit, it goes down and not back in. And then just watch it, watch the time, document when it starts, when it stops. Write down all the details that you can so that if it does turn into an emergency, you can give it to the EMTs. If not, you can give it to them to give to their neurologist. Now, a seizure like this is only an emergency if it lasts over, oh god, I want to say over 5 minutes. It's either over 3 minutes or over 5 minutes. I don't want to give you bad advice, so look it up. A seizure is only an emergency if it lasts over a certain amount of time. So don't call 911 as soon as someone starts having a seizure. Don't do it, especially if the person has a history of epilepsy. Wait a little bit. If it starts going a long amount of time, like if it's been 2.5 minutes and they're still shaking, okay, call 911. You know, you don't know how long it might be, and they might still be seizing, for a good amount of time. But if they just start seizing and they stop and within 20 seconds, don't call 911 if they have a history of epilepsy. Because not all seizures are emergencies, especially if the person is epileptic. If the person's epileptic, it's not an emergency if they have a short seizure. That is their disease. However, even if the person is epileptic, if they have an especially long seizure, or if they have 3 seizures without regaining consciousness at all, that is an emergency. You need to call 911. So, that's your PSA on epilepsy. In other news, I got a haircut. What do you think of it? It's kind of like she layered my hair, so you can tell that I'm a really curly ginger now. So what do you think of being able to tell I'm a curly ginger? Do you like being able to tell that I'm a curly ginger? Did you like it better when you couldn't tell I was a curly ginger? What are your thoughts? Would you like me to put my boobs away now? Because I'm kind of feeling exposed. Bye!